Hello and welcome back to Microsoft's Flight Simulator. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the first bit of payware that I have got for Microsoft's Flight Simulator, and that is the F-15 C, D, E and I. Yes, that is 4 variants of the F-15 Eagle, all in one package by DC Designs and JustFlight. As usual with all of my aircraft reviews, this is going to be a first impressions and review. It is going to be multi-part, so we're going to look, I'm thinking probably going to be 2 parts in this particular one. So in the first part, I'm going to be looking at what the specifications are of the aircraft, what's in the package, how much does it cost, what kind of system specs do you need, some information about the aircraft from the website, and I'll take a look at the modelling, the texturing. We'll take a look at some of the physics, or the features of the physics. We will not test them in this particular video, and then we'll probably go, particularly with this aircraft, I'll go for a startup because it is fairly quick to start an aircraft like this up. So that is what we're going to do in this video. In the next video, I'm going to go ahead and take it out for a flight. We'll fly around, we'll try some low-level flights, some high-level flights, might take it over the Lake District or something, maybe somewhere through Wales, and then bring it in for a landing and give you my final verdict. So if you want a complete review of this and a complete first impressions, 2 videos right here. Make sure you stay tuned. Without further ado, let's roll the intro and let's get on with it. Okay, here we are inside the aircraft. It's rather quiet, so I thought I'd sit in here. In fact, let's see if we can open up the cockpit. I have no idea how to do that. It looks like that there. There we go. There's the canopy open. Lovely. Okay, now we have an open canopy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the product first of all, and then we'll get on with my sort of impressions and seeing what is and isn't right, or what looks out of place, or what, certainly if there isn't anything out of place, everything that is in place. Anyway, here we go. So from the detailed description and the description here, in fact, before the description, how about I tell you the price and system specification? So this aircraft is £26.99 on the JustFlight website. So you can go ahead and convert that to your desired currency. System requirements obviously require Microsoft Flight Simulator, whether that's the standard version, deluxe version, or premium deluxe, it doesn't matter. However, make sure that it is the latest version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Some people do sometimes get confused with Microsoft Flight Simulator referring to the entire brand, the entire franchise. I say franchise, maybe it isn't a franchise, but the entire brand. Old versions of MSFS will not work, so do not try it on FSX or 2004, 2002. This has to be the modern Flight Simulator, also not Microsoft Flight. Requirements for the processor is an Intel i5-4660, so quite an old processor right there that you can run it on, or an AMD Ryzen 3 1200. I would say that you're probably looking at, I mean, on the recommended here they say Intel i5 8400 or AMD Ryzen 5 1500X recommended. For Microsoft Flight Simulator, I would actually go a little bit higher. Particularly with this aircraft, I would want to give it a little bit more than that. I would say you're looking at a high-end i5 or a low-end i7 at minimum. And the same for the AMDs. You're looking for a high Ryzen 5, low Ryzen 7. Certainly nothing below the 8th generation, but you're probably looking at the 8600s. Or around there, not the 8400s for the Intels, and whatever the equivalent AMD was at the time, although AMDs were not quite as good at that particular time, so maybe you'd want one of the Gen 3s. So there you go. That's my consumer advice for a chip if you want to fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. 8GB of RAM, but 16 recommended. I would certainly recommend more than that for Flight Simulator. GTX 770 for the graphics card, or Radeon RX 570. Again, that's minimum. Recommended, they say the 970 or the Radeon RX 590. I would say recommended for me would be perhaps a 1060, which is equivalent, almost equivalent to 970. I'd say a little bit better, but I'd say recommended 1060 or the equivalent AMD there. And Windows 10 for the operating system. Obviously, you're going to need some peripherals, maybe joystick, flight controllers. But if you're playing a flight simulator, you're going to have that. And 1.6 gigabytes of hard drive space. Just taking a look around here. Look, no legs. Right. Reading from the detailed description here. DC Designs are proud to announce their first aircraft collection for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This F-15 Eagle package includes 4 highly detailed MSFS models, the 15C, D, E, and I. It sounds like I'm describing something like the USS Enterprise. I'm Scotty. USS Enterprise NCC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, or D. Anyway, that shows how old I am. That's how I actually remember that. I actually remember that episode. Actually, no, I would remember a rerun of that episode. Anyway, fully native MSFS aircraft. All models have been coded with Microsoft Flight Simulator's native model behavior animations and built to MSFS operational specifications to prevent issues with future simulator upgrades. So this should be good for quite a few upgrades. Unless they do something massive, this should be absolutely fine with the upgrades. And of course, upgrades roll around every few weeks. I think there was one. I think there's one coming out the day that this is out. The DC Designs F-15 Eagles are fully compliant with MSFS native materials and make use of the simulator's features such as rain effects and sounds, fully reflective glass, native aerodynamic sound structures, and new modern aerodynamic system with the ability to provoke departure spins and customized visibility controls for wheel chocks, covers, GPU, and guard. The F-15 Eagles also contain custom-built and animated effects such as G-Vapor, afterburners, and custom-modelled heads-up displays. Other features include authentic night lighting, which includes user-operated slime lights, I'll show you those, for combat operations, and custom-coded air intake animations based on aircraft airspeed and angle of attack. Numerous external animations including canopy, crew ladders, tailhook and controlled surfaces. The F-15 Eagles are also fully compliant with VR headsets. Now I think that is important. So you can actually fly this in VR. Inside the cockpit, it says truly 3D virtual cockpits featuring accurately modelled ejector seats, controls and detailed texturing. Wait, you mean I can I actually eject the ejector seat? No. Boo. Okay. Detailed texturing, each matching the respective variants. So different aircraft are going to look different. In this one, we're looking at the E. Am I in the E? Yes, I'm in the F-15E. I can tell from the front panel. And in the next video, we'll be looking at the C, which does look different. Instruments constructed in 3D with smooth animations. Working rear view mirrors. There on the canopy. I should probably close the canopy to show you that. Wait, that's not how you close a canopy. How do I grab the canopy? Uh-oh. I don't know how to grab this canopy. Well, that's not... I would have thought maybe if we did that it'd... Oh, it does. Okay, there you go. Working rear view mirrors. Right there. Let's see. Scratched canopy glass effects and reflective glass. In fact, you can actually see the scratches along all of these. I'd like a clean variant of this. That would be nice to see something like that. Crew figures in the virtual cockpits are coded to disappear when you occupy their seats. Right, okay, so is there a seat? There isn't a seat behind me. This is a single seater, right? It's the... No, the E is a twin seater, so there should be somebody else behind me somewhere. I don't know. Okay, front and rear cockpit positions included in all twin seat variants, so there you go. And the aircraft systems, 3D model dials, ADI, whiskey compass and other high detailed instrument designed to emulate the appearance of real F-15s. MFDs with visual layouts based on the real aircraft systems, heads-up display with authentic layout based on real Eagles, custom-coded user-controlled ordnance via the simulator payload manager, allowing for live mounting of weapons on hardpoints with active weight increase. Probably not going to be trying out the weapons yet, and a full operations manual is included, which is 43 pages long. Also comes in different liveries, so the F-15C has 4 liveries, the D has 1, the E has 3, and the I has 1. So there you go. And it also has a paint kit. Right, that's all of that out of the way. Let's actually start taking a look at the aircraft. So let's start on the outside. I think that's probably the best place to start. Let's go for a showcase. And one of the things I already noticed is that you can see what it's doing. It's moving from inside view to outside. See, that's internal, that's external. And you can see that because of the way it's just the things change. I just found this a really funny little bug because you can't see those lights, for example, from the inside. It's interesting, but it's fine. That's not a problem, really. So taking a look around, I wish I could actually control this a little bit better, but it's being a bit of a pain. Let's move the rotation speed a little bit faster. That's not what I want to do. As you can see, the drone mode's decided it wants to focus here for some reason. I'd much rather it focused over there, but it just does not. I cannot get it to do that. So unfortunately we can only look at it like this, or I could just go to external camera and do this. In fact, might as well just do that. So here's the aircraft. I really like the colouring on this and the detail on the aircraft, particularly where you can read all of these. I want to see, in fact, I do want to see how close I can get into to read this. Zoom level. Let's really zoom quite close. There you go. Is that all legible? Actually, that might all be legible. Maybe a little difficult to read some of that, so you could just see where the jagged lines are, where the texture cannot actually cope. But that's not too bad. That is not too bad at all, particularly as you're probably only going to be looking at it from something like this kind of angle. I really like the detailing on this. I like the look of the intakes on the front as well. For some reason that reminds me of the Tornado. Why is this? No, I don't want that. Drone lock mode. There we go. Now I've got some movement. Okay, now I can take a much better look at some of these. As you can see here, that's not too bad at all. Good reflections on the aircraft. I do wish that these were a little bit cleaner, these lines. There should have been a way to clean up these lines further, but with some smoothing. So that is a little disappointing, but aside from that, it is all right. I'm just looking at this no step here. Why would it be written that way? I think there's a slight texture glitch there. Everywhere else it's written the correct way. I think that's a slight texture glitch right on this. Right, there you go. As I said, this is a first impressions and review, and also this is feedback for the developers. So this might be fixed by the time you see this. These are the slime lights, by the way. See one of them there. There should be another one. And the idea of the slime lights, there's another one, are to be very small lights that allow, let's say you're operating in a squadron other aircraft in your squadron can see you, but it doesn't light up anything else. You do not have these really bright red and green lights on your port and starboard wings and beacon lights or anything like that. You just have these dim lights that you can just about see, so that when you're flying at night and you do not want to be detected, less chance of being detected. Let's take a look at the engine. That's not bad. If I do this, will it open up the... No. It looks like I've actually got to start the aircraft up for the afterburner, the nozzle, to change its shape into more of a diffuser. I really like the reflections on this. That's very nicely done. It's interesting that this area is a lot more metallic than the rest of it, but that looks like that is very much intentional, so that's good. Detailing down at the bottom, let's have a look. I wish I could get closer to this before it tabs out. Is that a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing, or is that this particular model? Alright, hang on a minute. There's something to read there. I know and that's not readable, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. It'd be nice to see if there's some textures out there that make that legible. That would be awesome. Right, let's have a look at some other options that we have. So let's see. Where would I find the additional options? That's a good question here. It's not going to be AI control. It's not going to be fuel. You can see that there's a lot of options there in all the tanks. So that's pretty good. And the payload, you've got the weapons and everything. But there's your tanks. Let's have a look. Let's have a look how to customize this, if it tells us in the booklet. And then we're going to have a cockpit tour. Then we're going to start it up and see what we can do. So let's see, because that would be interesting to figure out. How do we... It's easy enough to access, easy enough to install, by the way. It's just a simple installer. You have to log into your JustFlight account when you're installing, and that's it. Really, really simple. Because I want to put on, what I want to do is I want to put on the covers and everything. But I have no idea where I would find that. I actually have no idea where I would find that. By the way, checklists are really good in here. Very well done. I'm actually looking around for this. Now I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do this. Of course, I'm still getting used to Microsoft Flight Simulator myself, so it could be something very simple, and I do not know. Nope. The only places I can see are options here, so it's not going to be in basic controls, is it? No, that's just telling me what my controls are. Definitely not that. AI control? Nope. Nope, not a clue. Now, JustFlight used to have the things on the side, but obviously that is not going to be there anymore. So I've got to work out what's going to go on, but it doesn't matter right now. That's not a real problem. Takeoff, performance, yeah. I'm just looking through some of these. No, okay, I'm just looking. I was just pouring through the manual. Let's go back inside. Let's take a look. It's a shame I wasn't able to show you everything I wanted to. Right. Can we get rid of the control stick? Because that's sometimes quite important. It seems like we cannot, because there's something back there that might be useful to us. No. Nope, we cannot. Okay, doesn't matter. Right, let's have a look inside. So this is the F-15 Eagle E, or E-Eagle. There you go. I'm just going to call it the E. Up front, we have some displays, as you can see in front of us. We'll start down, let's start down at the bottom where the obvious displays are. So you can see here we've got an angle of attack indicator, AOA indicator. Right there, we've got our airspeed indicator there. Each one is, I believe each one is 100, can get up in times 100 knots. Right, we've got our altimeter there, we've got our vertical speed indicator there, cabin pressure there, clock right there, fuel quantity, attitude indicator, oil pressure, left and right tank, hydraulic pressure over there. So those are our analog instruments. This is our MFD, our multifunctional display on the left. We've got a center one and we have a right one. When we start the aircraft up, you'll see what's on there. Very important, these lights along here, these are warning lights. These are the warning annunciator lights. So you know, the ones that tell you something's on fire or low oil pressure or things like that. That is where the lights are. I think flaps and stuff also come up on this. This bit in the middle, this here is your control panel, your upfront control panel. I know it looks a bit strange. To me, that looks more like something that you just type in telephone numbers into, or a very basic computer or calculator, something like that. But that is what it is. When you start it up, you will see. You'll see exactly how that looks. Let's see what else is there. Oh yes, of course, fuel gauge, kind of important. So what I've found is that I cannot seem to click and move many of these, and that's kind of disappointing because of what I'm used to with JustFlight products, where you can click many of the controls. Now I know this is this is just I think distributed by JustFlight and not, I don't think it's fully developed by JustFlight. It's developed by DC Designs, but still, we'll have to start up the aircraft for us to be able to see other things in the aircraft. But for now, let's have a look down at the left and right consoles. So if we have a look down on the left hand side down here, something that's going to be very obvious is going to be your throttles right there. You can see me moving them. We also have our lights down here. So this is our lighting control. I saw them down here. Where are they? There you go. Position lights, your anti-collision lights, your formation lights. I think formation lights, those are your slime lights. You can just click those, as you can see. So we'll be checking all of those out. Down here, right at the bottom, I don't think any of these can be actually accessed or used, which is, again, that kind of disappointing. I'm just used to a lot more detail in something like a JustFlight product. Same with these, we cannot really mess around with the mode selectors or any of these over here. It just doesn't, nothing seems to work along this line. Transponder we can change, of course. That would be terrible if we couldn't. This here is our refuel probe switch. I'm not sure, I think this might be for in-flight refueling. There is a fuel dump here somewhere as well. There you go. That, I thought that could be clicked. Interesting. I was fairly sure that could be clicked. Oh, maybe because it's that you have to do. Those are your engine shut-off valves. No, that's not it. So these are, you've got your landing lights up here. I know, that's strange. You've got your other lights down there, but your landing lights up there. Really strange. I have no idea. Why that is the case. Inlet ramp switches over here, left and right intakes. You've got your landing lights over here, and your sorry, not your landing lights, your landing gear controls over here. This little thing there is your trim tab indicator, and then you've got your radio channels just over here. So that's how you tune your radio. Is there anything else? Oh, yes, of course. We have our CAS autopilot system right here. So you've got your speed hold, IAS, approach, nav, master switch, altitude hold, and heading hold. Nice and simple. On the right hand side, we have some power. Well, this is a lot of these are to do with engine operations. So we're talking about power electrical operations. So we have our generators over here. You can see that. We've got our engines over here. So the master switches for the engines right here. We've got avionics and battery switches there. We've got our pitot heat and anti-ice over here. We have our hydraulics over here, which again, you can't touch. So kind of I don't know, just a bit disappointing on that, I'll be honest. We have the canopy open and close, which obviously we found, I'd say by mistake, but I was looking for it, so perhaps not by mistake. This is your lighting switches for your panel lights. So that's for your night lighting and everything interior right there. We'll check that out as well. Then we've got another set of annunciators here. So this gives you your nav radios. This will give you your ADF and other things, that whatever you've got switched on your autopilot. Right over here, again, you cannot click that. You should be able to tune the ADF frequency, but you cannot do anything there. And then I think that's it. I think, there we go. Look at that. That's how we do it. Chocks, covers, guard, GPU. There you go. Now if we look outside, we should see a few things. So let's have a look. And those two, by the way, are the same whether you're on the F-15 C, D, or E. So let's have a look outside. There you go. That's what I wanted to show you. So you've got chocks, you've got covers. I think that just looks really nice overall. I kind of want to take a picture in showcase mode. And you've got okay, but I didn't know that. So you've got chocks, you've got covers, you've got everything, and you've also got a soldier apparently. Just don't mess with him, I guess. Let's do that. Oops. Yes, move it a little bit back. That will do. Is it Alt and F1 for my screenshots? It is. There you go. Okay. So now that we've had a look at all of this, we know what does work, what doesn't work. We should probably start the aircraft up so we can have a better look at the HUD and the multifunction displays. So let's go back inside and see what we can do to start the aircraft up. Now, you can use the what's the old Microsoft Flight Simulator trick? Is it the Control and E or Alt and E? I think is the Flight Simulator trick to switch it on. I think it's Control E, and it does the whole auto start for you. But we are not going to do that. We're going to do this manually, because that's the way we're supposed to do that. So let's switch all of those off. Let's bring up the checklists and see if we can do this. So engine start cold, so canopy open. Well, okay. Canopy open. Landing gear down, that's confirmed. Yep. Parking brake on. Where is the parking brake on here? There it is. Is that the parking brake? No, that's starter jet fuel. I just saw brake hold, so I thought, okay, that might be the parking brake. This is a good question. Where is the parking brake? Because that's something that I would need to know. I can hear it, There it is. Perfect. Parking brake. That one right there. Okay. Confirmed. Let's go for... We're doing a cold start here. So, battery on. And let's zoom out a little bit so we can do this properly. So, battery on. So, that's going to be... That's one there. Good sounds. Good sounds. Avionics on. HUD power switch on. I'm going to guess it's already on because I can see the HUD. They're on. No, the HUD's not on. Where's the power switch for the HUD? That's something I do not know. Okay, so I think more information is perhaps needed in the manual for this, because unless I completely missed it, I have no idea where the power switch is for the HUD. That looks like it. There you go. I'm just working it out for myself. So great. So we'll tick, tick, tick. Strobe lights on. So that's down this side. And nav lights. Nav lights should be on, shouldn't they? Surely it shouldn't be strobe lights. It should be nav lights on. Does that go... Is that all it does? Oh, because you cannot switch it between... Right, okay. That's a little annoying. You cannot actually switch it between bright and flash. Okay, fine. Fuel valve switches open. Alright. So, fuel valve switches. It's these ones here, isn't it? Yep. There you go. Inlet ramp switches closed, or on, sorry. Not closed, so on, left and right, there you go. Or auto in this case. Throttle is closed, yep. Engine starter 1. Engage. I'm looking for... Where am I going to find N1 on... N2 RPM? Ah, there we go, okay. It's at 21 right now. I believe that's my N2. That's an interesting noise. Let's listen to it from the outside. Is it just the one engine that's up? It is. It's starting up. Got some weird glitches with the glass. Also, why are you flashing and not you? Must be the way. That must just be the way it works. Right. Let's get inside. Hey, I had parking brakes on. Right, let's get starter 2 up. And we'll do that as expected and then we'll stop. There. So here comes the second one. Ah, N2's down here, isn't it? There it is. RPM 65? I don't think so. I don't think the engine RPM, I'm not sure if that's right. Let's see if any of these work. Might as well experiment, right? That's the idea of this. Nope, nothing there. move. Probably should have. That was parking brake on, I think. Now, none of these seem to... What's that little popping noise that happens? So you can see here we've got our ADF frequencies, nav frequencies, standbys, all right here. Cannot touch anything there. One thing I will note is that might not be able to see it, but just here you can see that the writing is sort of cutting over the texture, so it's making it look like it's overlaid on top, as opposed to actually being within that. Now, I suppose from this sort of distance, it's not that much of a problem, but it's those little details I like to see. That is rather loud. I'm going to close the canopy. There we go. Much better. Right. So we've got our flaps controls. Flaps full, you can see that. That's flaps off, so thumbs up there. That's not too bad. That's our landing gears are down. I'd pull the landing gear up, but obviously I'm going to mess something up if I did that. I'm not going to touch anything else really today. Let's have a look, though, at some of the interior lighting. So, in fact, first of all, let's change the time of day. Perhaps later in the evening. And that way, the exterior and interior lighting will stand out a little bit more. So let's have a look at the exterior lighting first. Okay. So there's nothing much that we've got. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing what you just did. Alright, here you go. I can actually if I slow that down right the way, there you go. Even more. Should be able to make this rather smooth. That's a little too much. I don't know, 5% in drone speed to 6%. That'll do. Let's see what that. There we go. That's not too bad. It's quite nicely. I think the reflections are really nice. Lighting's good on this. Yeah, lighting does look rather neat. I tell you what, let's see if we can activate some additional lights and see what we can do from there. So let's go ahead and switch on. We've got the anti-collision lights on. Are these not flashing? I want these to flash. Am I missing something here? Because that just seems to be flicking between two, which is kind of annoying. Landing lights up here. Yeah, put the landing lights right near the intake ramp. That's not a good idea. Not a good idea. But there you go, that's what it's like. External, there you go. Yep, simple working landing lights. I want to know where that's I was expecting a bit more. I was expecting a bit more in the way of flashing lights, I'll be honest. But there you go, this is a military aircraft, so I suppose flashing lights wouldn't be normal. Another thing that I've just noticed is we've got red, green. Should that not be red, green? I'm just going to check this. I know this might be being a bit pedantic, but it's important when you're looking at this. So I'm going to go F-15 Eagle light. Okay, let's take a look. Maybe this is red, green. I do not know. Oh no, yeah, it is red, 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 green. Okay, fine. Learned something new. Why it's red, 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 green, I do not know, but there you go. Alright, let's switch on the slime lights so you can have a look at those. Slime lights, slime lights, slime lights. Oh, I've got a little torch on. Lovely. There they are. And again, you've only got this option of off and there, not bright. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure there. And there you go, those are the slime lights. So if you were to run with all other lights off, you just have these lights on, which I think are quite cool. I do think the slime lights are really quite cool to run with. And the aircraft looks spectacular. It's very, very good. Flap movement is smooth. You can see the change nozzle, the variable nozzle shape, so it gets narrower than it should. I was going to say, gets narrower and then it should just pick up. Although I think that the afterburner there was kind of sudden, but that's okay. That's okay. When we take off, we'll have a proper look at it in the next video. Let's go back inside and switch on some interior lighting. So let's see what kind. That's the flood. Okay, so for some reason the floodlight moves with you. That's interesting. Fine. Why can I not change the instrument lighting? No idea. Oh no. Wait, now what? It's panel lights. Okay, the panel lights move with you for some reason, but that... I don't think they're panel lights, are they? Floodlight. I'm so confused. Panel lights. Turn on panel lights. There you go. Turn off floodlight. Turn on floodlight. And now it's all gone. I've broken it. Yeah, I have no idea what I've done, because now turning on the floodlight turns off the floodlight. Panel lights do work as they're supposed to, but if I do that and that, now I've turned on the panel lights and off the floodlights. I have no idea what's going on. So what am I seeing so far with this aircraft? I think it sounds good. It looks good. I think it's well made. It's well textured. I've not flown it yet, so I'll have to comment on the physics once I'm up in the air. But in terms of immersion, I guess maybe I'm spoilt by the detail that's come out of JustFlight before with things like the Vulcan, where I'd say maybe 90% of the buttons are something that you can press and has some actual function, whereas on this a lot of things are not. So you can press these. This is nice. There you go. You can swap out the frequencies on this side. Nothing else. Does that move the... Yep. Transponder frequency responds very quickly. Wait a minute. What on earth? Yeah, okay. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yep. That seems to work. That's fine. Changing these around. You can't rotate. You can. There you go. What's it changing though? It's supposed to be changing my comm frequency. Oh, I think it is. It is changing my 125. Yeah, it's going through that. That's what it's doing. It's a bit. It is. Okay, so I've noticed something. Right, so here's another one. Look. When you do that, I'm not sure if anyone can see how it kind of blurs out a bit. So look, 120, 122, 120, look at that, 127. And then it clears up. I don't know if that's supposed to be intentional. Is that an intentional thing? Look, I don't know if that's being picked up on YouTube, but I cannot read what some of that says. But then a few seconds later it clears up. I suppose that'd be something you would get. Not sure. Anyway, that I suppose is the end of part 1 of this review. Tell you what though, because we can, let's just potter out to a runway. There's a runway somewhere here. And let's potter out very quickly to a runway and do a quick takeoff. Though it's not going to, I'm not going to be reviewing the takeoff as such. There we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and hopefully you guys don't think that I've been too harsh on this. So I switched all AI off. Why do I have a GA aircraft trying to wander around? No idea. I need to see this from external camera. I really do. And there's only one reason why. That. Interesting how the afterburners both work together. It's not really how afterburners would work, but it's fine. Very rapid acceleration here. Very, very rapid, but we'll have to have a look at this in more detail next time. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Microsoft's Flight Simulator, and of course for part 2 of this, where I will be flying it around and trying to do some maneuvers and things like that, and really giving you my thoughts on the physics. We've seen the sound, or we've heard the sounds, we've seen the visuals, we've seen what works and what doesn't in terms of buttons. Now it's just down to how does this thing fly. Leave a comment in the comments box below, let me know if you've picked this up, and if you have, what do you think? If you can do so, do consider supporting me on Patreon at www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Your supports would be massively appreciated. It would really, really help me out. And also, you can find me on social media at ecgadgets LP for both Twitter and Instagram. That is all from me. I am actually slowing down at this point in time, but I want to bring myself back up. There's a reason I've just done that. That is all from me, and I will see you next time in Microsoft's Flight Simulator. Okay, I heard a sonic boom. I didn't see the vapor trail for some reason, but that's fine. I kind of want to do this to finish the video. Here we go. Up. Okay, that's better. Now that is all from me, and I will see you next time in Microsoft's Flight Simulator.